So we are moving from short-term emergency measures to long-term arrangements now that people can rely on should they find themselves out of work.
Well, look, as everybody knows, I'm a pretty straight down the middle kind of guy. And as the former Prime Minister John Howard once said, you know that if you've pissed off half the people on one side and pissed off half the people on the other side, then you've probably got things about right. And so when it comes to the debate about raising the rate of the dole permanently, you'd think, well, all right, if the government sort of takes the increased amount where it is now, an extra $150 a fortnight, and does something that's a bit more than what it used to be, but not as much as what it is now, then it's probably kind of, maybe just sort of threaded the needle, got it about right. Well, that's wrong, because what the government has done is gone for the bare minimum that it thought would be acceptable to the public, and effectively kind of pissed its money up against the wall. It's given an increase of just $25 a week. That's about $3.57, give or take a few cents, a day. That's not even enough to buy you a coffee at the airport. Not that any of these guys will be getting on a plane anytime soon, because why? They're on the dole. They're on the lifeline. They can barely survive as it is, let alone go anywhere. In fact, a lot of people struggle to even afford a train ticket to go to a job interview. And that is a bit of a problem when the whole point of the dole is to get them off the dole and into a job. So the government is effectively giving so little that it kind of may as well not be giving anything at all, which is not what it should be doing. It should be, I would have thought, doing something that's actually in the middle. So say you split the difference, 150, you make it 75, and then for a bit of goodwill, good measure, just round it up. Make it say $80 a fortnight, $40 a week. That is something that is not as much as a lot of groups are calling for, but it's probably something they could live with in terms of a political result. And they say, well, you know what? Thanks for that. It's better than nothing, and it will be of some assistance. The current increase is so low that, frankly, the government looks miserable anyway, so it doesn't get any goodwill out of it. It doesn't get any political bounce out of it, any political capital out of it. It's so little that it makes virtually no difference to the people receiving it. And so what is the point? You've almost done the very opposite of what you're meant to do in smart, centrist, pragmatic government, which is kind of do enough to keep everybody happy and not give everyone everything they want, but give people enough so that they can kind of keep going and maybe even be a little bit grateful. Instead, they've gone for something so measly, so miserable, that it's probably not going to make that much of a difference in the lives of the people they're giving it to. They're not going to get any credit for it anyway, so they might as well have just kept the money and look like the misers that they kind of are. And you would think that after the government's been handing out money hand over fist, and I know that hurts fiscal conservatives, I know every dollar is like a dagger through the heart, but you'd think once you've put tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars into the economy to try to save it from COVID-19, and done a great job, by the way, thank you very much. So you might as well actually spend the money and get a good result out of it, something that's the right thing to do and gives you a bit of a political tick, bit of political capital, instead of spending just less than that and getting absolutely nothing. That's not a bargain. That's a false economy. And the economy, by the way, is the thing that we're trying to save with these measures. It's not just to help people sleep well at night, thinking, oh, I helped an unemployed person today. It's about making sure these people get off the dole, get into the workforce, and they can't do that. They can't afford a bloody train ticket to get to a job interview.